The steering gear system you see is a 4-ram type electro-hydraulic steering gear. There are two sets of hydraulic power packs comprising of hydraulic pumps and oil reservoir. The directional control valve changes the direction. Automatic and manual isolation valves isolate the defective system in case of emergency. Bypass valves for each set of rams bypass the defective rams when isolated. Relief valves maintain the system oil pressure within limits. The control box receives helm order from bridge and sends electric signals to directional control valve. The tiller arm converts the linear motion of the rams into rotary motion of the rudder stalk. Potentiometer senses the rudder stalk position and sends a feedback to control box. Check the hydraulic oil level in the tank. Insufficient hydraulic oil lever will lead to poor performance of the system. However, alarms are provided to warn the operator. Check whether the manually operated isolation valves are in open position. If they are shut inadvertently, it will affect the ram movement. Check the grease quantity and oil level. Insufficient lubrication will wear out the components. Check whether power supply is available for both the steering motors. Standby steering motor power supply should be available for emergencies. The number 1 steering pump motor is started. The main pump and the servo pump start running. Check the amperage of the motor. Electrically operated isolating valves are kept in open position. Bypass valve is actuated to closed position by the oil supplied by the servo pump. When no helm is ordered, the bidirectional control valve is in mid position. When port order is given from the bridge, the control box sends a signal to the bidirectional control valve that moves to the forward side. Pressurized oil is pumped into ram 2 and 3. The pressurized oil moves the ram. The tiller in turn moves the rudder stalk. The return oil from ram 1 and 4 flows back to the pump return side. When the rudder stalk reaches the desired helm angle, the potentiometer sends a signal to the control box. The control box sends a signal to bidirectional control valve. The valve is pushed back to its initial position. This blocks the oil flow and stops the movement of the ram. When starboard order is given from the bridge, the control box sends a signal to bidirectional control valve. The valve moves aft side. The pressurized oil is pumped into ram 1 and 4. The pressurized oil moves the ram. The tiller in turn moves the rudder stalk from the port to starboard position. The return oil from ram 3 and 2 flows back to the return side of the pump. When the rudder reaches the starboard position, the potentiometer sends a signal to the control box. The control box sends a signal to the bidirectional control valve. The valve is pushed back to its initial position. This blocks the oil flow and stops the movement of the ram. Consider during the operation. There is a fracture